Hi, this is Josh with Resort TV 1, and today we're going to show you the new Smove Pro Mobile. And the Smove Pro Mobile is a smartphone stabilizer similar to the original Smove or Smove Pro. But the Pro Mobile is the updated version, and it's made with stronger materials, and it's got a lot of really cool improvements from the previous version. So right now it's off, and so you can see that the phone just kind of hangs free. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Now when you do turn it on, you want to make sure that the phone is flat in the carriage like this, and then you push the power button. Before I show you that though, I actually want to show you how to put the phone in. You need to make sure that this part is loose, of course, first. This little, looks like a bird on there actually, it was really kind of cool. That's loose, and you push the phone all the way down until it stops at the bottom. Now this phone has a little bit of a case on it, so a slim case is okay. However, my phone actually is an iPhone 8 Plus, and it has to have the case off to put it in there. So really just trial and error, see if it fits. This phone fits with the case. If it's too big of a case like an OtterBox, you'll probably have to take the case off, and that's fine because the Smove Pro Mobile holds the phone very, very well. So let's go ahead and turn it on. And all we do to turn it on, just like the Smove Pro, is we actually just push the power button twice in a row. So we push it once short and then once long, and we hold on to it for just a second, and you'll feel the unit grab. And then immediately the phone is already being stabilized right when you feel it grab. Now when you first get the unit, you'll notice, one of the first things I noticed was that it responds to your motions a lot more quickly than the previous version. And so you can see when I turn left and turn right, it's a lot more of a quick response. However, I discovered later that these two buttons on the side control how the phone, or how the stabilizer rather, responds to your action. So this particular, looks like a volume knob, actually controls how the stabilizer responds to your movement input. So right now it's at the what we call tightest setting, and so you can see that the phone and the stabilizer move very fast from side to side when I move from side to side with my wrist. And keep in mind that the phone or stabilizer will point directly away from where the buttons on the front are. So if I want it to be a little bit maybe softer movements, I think they call it hard or a soft movement, I'm going to point this down just a little bit. I'm going to roll it down rather. And you'll notice now that it doesn't move quite as quickly as we go along. And if I pull it down even more, it responds even more slowly, but that's nice. I actually like to keep it on a softer format because it's easier for me to walk around and be smooth. I do a lot of walking with our Smove Pro, and in fact, we do a lot of live streaming, you guys know that. And so we keep it on a pretty soft setting so that we can turn from side to side without it looking jerky. And that's, of course, the whole point of the stabilizer. Now you can see it really is moving slowly. And if I turn it down all the way to stop, now you'll see that it's locked. And so that's where the horizontal or the pan axis is actually locked now at this point. So I can turn back and forth. So if I wanted to just shoot at that bridge right there in front of us, I would just take and pull this volume slider thing. It's actually not a volume slider, but that's what it looks like to me. Pull it all the way down to where it stops, and now it's locked on that particular point. Now, you can still move the Smove to left and right if you use the joystick, and it moves really, really well that way. And then it'll stay wherever you put it with the joystick. And the joystick is really cool. You can push it just a little bit, it moves slowly. You can push it a little bit more, and it moves more quickly. So it's really cool. You can control this with the joystick. Now, you'll notice though that with this particular setting, of course, now it's completely locked. However, if you don't want to lock the horizontal pan axis, but you do want to lock the vertical axis, the tilt axis is what I should call that, then what you can do is push this switch down right here. So the switch will actually now allow it to stay locked in the tilt axis. So now it's locked on the bridge. I can go left and right, but I can't go up and down anymore. So we actually use this setting to film fireworks because sometimes I want to go left and right, but I know that I'm pretty much going to stay locked like on Cinderella Castle or whatever during the fireworks. So I'll lock the tilt axis, but I'll keep the pan axis open. Sometimes if I'm doing a show like we did the Candlelight Processional a couple weeks ago, I'll lock both. And then what happens is it stays locked on the show, and if I want to move, I'll use the joystick. So there you go. So these are the two controls that control how the stabilizer responds to your input. Now if I'm just walking normally like this, you'll see that I have both open and I can tilt and do whatever I want to do, but the stabilizer still makes my actions a lot more smooth. And you can see it stays focused on the bridge really, really well when I do that. So that's kind of the new thing about the Smove Pro Mobile, is that it has these controls. The Smove Pro had a button here that would control whether it was locked or whether it was not locked. And so that's something that this is actually better, because it can control the speed at which the camera, or that rather the stabilizer, follows you. And actually that's called follow speed. I didn't think of that earlier, but that's what it's called. It's called follow speed. So the follow speed can be adjusted. All right, so something else we want to show you on this new Smove Pro Mobile is the fact that you can rotate it to portrait mode. Most of the time, especially for videos on YouTube and things like that, you're going to probably use the stabilizer in what we call landscape mode, where it shows the phone is horizontal, and so it gives you the best picture on like a TV or something like that, or a computer. But sometimes you want to do portrait mode for like Facebook or Periscope or things like that. So there's a couple ways you can do that. There's no button. The original Smove Pro had a button to rotate to portrait mode, but this one actually goes a little bit above and beyond. It's easier to rotate, plus it'll rotate both right side up and upside down depending on what you want to do. So first of all, we'll go and rotate into what we call right side up portrait mode. And to do that, you're going to tilt your wrist towards the top of the phone, the speaker side of the phone, and it will rotate by itself. So watch. See? Okay, now I kind of have to tilt over here, and now I'm in portrait mode. And it works really, really well in portrait mode. And again, that would be good for Facebook streaming. And so you can still pan up and down. Now there's a little bit of a limitation, because you can't get too close to the unit there with the tilt axis. You have to be a little bit careful with that. So it's probably not as maybe seamless streaming, or rather using the stabilizer in portrait mode, as it is using it in landscape mode, but it works still really well. And then to flip back, you basically just straighten up the stabilizer like I just showed. So it's really easy. It's just a flip of the wrist basically to do that. You can see one of the boats from Epcot coming over here. So we'll take a break to let that pass. All right, well, the boat passed by. The boats are really beautiful, but sometimes they're a little loud, so I wanted to make sure you could hear me on the video. So now we'll go into what we call upside down portrait mode. And to do that, you're going to rotate the body of the stabilizer towards the tilt axis here. So here we go. And you can see it kind of flips around by itself there. And then you can use it in what we call upside down portrait mode. So this would be really cool again for streaming, either on Periscope or Facebook, or even just videos for Facebook or Periscope or anything like that. So anyway, it works really, really well that way as well. And then to flip it back over, you just flip your wrist back and it flips back over to the top. So it's something you have to play with a little bit to get used to, and you can tell it's still a little bit new to me because we don't really rotate it that much. But that's how it works, and again, just play with it and get the feel for it, but that's how it flips from portrait to landscape and back. And obviously you can tell the way the stabilizer responds. It's much more comfortable in landscape mode, but it does do those portrait modes, and they're super cool if you want to get those portrait mode shots. And I'll show it one more time. It just flips over there. You can't go up and down quite as much in portrait mode, but you can still go side to side really, really well. And of course, in portrait mode, you're already getting more of the, of the horizon and of the ground anyway, because you're in portrait mode. You get more of a vertical picture. So, all right. So another thing we want to show is that you can actually use the camera button on the Smove itself to take pictures with the native iOS camera app, as well as with the Smove Pro Mobile app. Now, we're not going to show the Smove Pro Mobile app in this particular video. We'll do another video using the Smove Pro Mobile camera app, but I want to show you, go into the Bluetooth settings here, and you can see the stabilizer right here. It's kind of hard to see because it's bright, but stabilizer, and it has some letters and numbers there. We're already connected to it, but if you see it in your list, just hit refresh on the Bluetooth or turn it on and off sometimes, and the stabilizer will come on. And now I'm able to use this button to control the iOS camera app. So I'm going to go into the iOS camera app. I'm going to go into video. And so now when I push this button, it starts recording video. And it works really, really well. And the good news is, in order to do that, I don't have to come up here and push the button like you normally would, the touch button on the screen, because usually that jars, you can see it jars the phone just a little bit, and so it gives a little bit of a shaky picture. It's much smoother, or smoother, if you can push the button down here to stop and start recording. So that works really, really well. Another thing is you can also take pictures with that particular mode. And you can also do panoramic shots this way. Now, you can do panoramic shots in the Smove Pro Mobile app as well, and we'll show that in another video, but that works really well just to use this button to take pictures and videos. So I wanted to show the follow speed adjustments one more time because I didn't have the word right earlier, but these are these two switches right here, and this just locks the vertical axis, the up and down, and this locks the pan axis, the left and right. So this actually, though, this slider, this volume knob looking thing, actually adjusts the up and down or the vertical tilt speed as well. And that was something I didn't realize right away when I'm first using this. So if you'll notice, I've got this pulled down towards where it's a little bit softer. The follow speed is slower. And it also affects the vertical follow speed as well. Now the vertical follow speed is always just a little bit quicker just because of the way the unit's designed. But if I go back all the way up to the top, both follow speeds are extremely quick. So if I roll it down just a little bit, it slows down the follow speed. There we go. Now you can see it slows down the follow speed on both the horizontal and the vertical axes. And then if you roll it all the way down, they're all locked. And again, if you want to just lock the vertical and not the horizontal or the pan, you just flip the switch, and now vertical's locked but not horizontal. So I hope our Smove Pro Mobile video was informative, and I hope you were able to learn if the Smove Pro Mobile would be something that would be helpful for you or not. It really smooths out your vacation videos here, and of course we do our live streams every Friday, and it makes our live streams so much smoother. It makes them so much easier to watch on a big TV or something like that. We can just walk around and it just keeps the phone so stable and so focused on what we really want to focus on. So Smove has been so supportive of us, so we would really appreciate it if you would support them by checking out their products. You can get a new Pro Mobile by going to the website www.getpromobile.com. So that's getpromobile.com, and we'll put a link to that in the description of the video, and we'll have it up on the screen here so you can see it as well. So that's getpromobile.com. So please check them out, see if a Smove Pro Mobile will be right for you. So we also want to thank our sponsors, MickeyTravels.com and MickeyBlog.com, for the best in free vacation planning advice, as well as WindowRepairParts.us. Use the coupon code ResortTV1 for 20% off your purchase. So for now, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Now that you've finished watching this video, be sure that you're subscribed so that you can get all of the latest updates. Also, check out some other great videos on our channel. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.